You are not in business so that you spread to the market what you love. You're in business so you spread to the market what they love. And now you may say, but it's just shoes, it's just jeans. Yes. But have you been able to communicate? Have you learned how to communicate what the market loves to them? Not what you perceive the market wants. It may be an apple that you're selling. So it's not to say that the product is wrong, but your communication about the apple, you tie your communication to what you believe about the apple, not what the market wants to hear about the apple. I'm going to give you this example. Do you know one of the reasons why I talk about $1,000? It's not to say that I can't talk about the principles that I teach can make you earn 50,000, 100,000. I teach these principles to large organizations. But why do I say 1,000? Is because if I say 50,000 a month, although the principles still work for 50,000, you'll be like, this guy. So I tell you what you can handle in your mind for most of you. It doesn't mean that all of you. So I put a figure that is more conceivable to you, although I know that 1,000 still does not make sense. Are you getting what I'm saying? So your sales pitch should not be tied to what you think about the product. It should be tied to what the market thinks about the product. I hope that you're getting what I'm saying. Remember, what we're trying to create is a perfect design that increases our average success rate immensely, a perfect design that makes us consistent in sales. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to sit down with your service, with your product, or with your desired service or product, the thing that you want to get into. And you're supposed to ask yourself, why does the market want this? So you can open a gym and start to talk about the health benefits to people that don't care about the health benefits. They care about how they look when they go for weddings and see their cousins and old friends. The product is the same. The product is the gym, but you're talking about health benefits. While the market simply wants to look good in front of their exes. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. It's not that the product has changed, but you're saying, you know what, Jim, and then you live long, and then whatnot. They don't care about that. The people that you're probably speaking to don't care about that. And then another market would care about that. So the product can be the same, but then your problem is you're talking about what you love, not what they love. It's like you are a hairdresser, right? As a hairdresser, what are you telling the people? What is it that the people want? Yes, their hair done. But then why do they want their hair done? That's what you want to learn. So, which means that your selling prowess has got nothing to do with the what. It has got everything to do with you figuring out the why. And the why is not your why, it is their why. Are we getting this, everybody? Remember, it doesn't take any special talent. We're not even at a point whereby we're saying, no, I need a greater reach. The reach that you have right now, what are you communicating to them? Because most of you are saying that, I do this hair and I can do this hairstyle and that hairstyle and this hairstyle, right? And probably on your status, you're even putting, the pictures of heads of people that you have plated or pictures of other people that were plated. And you say that, but I can do this style. So you're showing me a head, but anyone can show me a head, which means that your part in the market is connecting with why my head wants to be that way. So if I enter into more of a professional setup, I'm not going to tell you that I do this hair and do this hair and do this hair and do this hair. I'm going to tell you, and let's say it's ladies, I'm going to tell you that, you know what, I've noticed one thing in the market and in industry, in commerce. It is actually really unfair that a lot of ladies are actually not considered, whether it's promotion, whether it's job opportunity, while you see men that are half as intelligent as them getting opportunities. I've seen that it's got everything to do with perception. It's got everything to do with what the people in the market and the industry think a woman is. But the reality is, as a woman, when you present yourself in a certain way, with a certain level of prowess, with a certain level of power, you realize that those doors start to open to you. For that reason, I am somebody that really gets deep into giving people hairstyles that when they enter into a room, it shouts. Now, my hairstyle may be the exact same thing that the person next door is doing. But then this person is hearing my story. They want to be seen in a professional setup. It's not the hair. Why do they want to be, or why should they get what it is that you're selling? So you sell to them, you tell them this is what's trending. They're not looking for what's trending. So when I'm speaking to a professional, I'm going to be like, yes, these are the hairstyles. Like even yesterday, I was actually talking to the CEO of whatnot. I was talking to this person in business. I was talking to this person in business, and I noticed that when I was talking to them, it seems as if there are certain hairstyles that they just do something subconsciously to the people in the room. There's a certain respect that they now start to command, and that person in business, that person in a professional setup, that accountant, that lawyer is now thinking, oh, that's exactly what I want. Why? Because you already know that 80% of the adult world struggles with confidence. So what you are selling to them is not hair. You're selling them confidence. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The problem is you talk about the product too much. The product doesn't matter. The why behind the product, that's where the sell is. Now, when you start to speak to maybe ladies that are now getting into their 40s, late 40s, a lot of them, they have what insecurities in terms of they're worried that, I'm getting old. Am I saying that they're getting old? No, but I'm saying that those are the insecurities that ladies have. So what do you talk about? You don't talk about the hair. You talk about how you are actually able to preserve beauty. How at 40 you can look like you're 20. You're not even talking about the hair. You're just like, you know what? I've noticed that when you start to get, around about your 40s, a lot of women who are so beautiful, who have everything, who, God has given them beauty, they just start to worry that I'm getting old, I'm no longer the person that I used to be, and all of these things. But then a lot of the times you actually realize that it's all a perception based on their outlook. There are actually hairstyles that when you have this hairstyle, what it does for you is it keeps you young. So what you are talking about is not the hair. You're talking about the why. So stop selling to people based on what you have perceived to be the value of that thing, but rather figure out what they are trying to get in their life. That's why I always tell people that your product is not your business, it's your imagination.